Alrighty. Uh, Hello, everyone. Michael Lopez here again from 008 Studios. Uh, and I guess welcome back to another Right and Wrong. Today, we're going to talk about some writing obstacles and some of their potential remedies. I hope that this video is of benefit to you, and we'll see where it leads. Now, again, this segment, this Right and Wrong, I'd like to preface by saying that yes, I'm an author. I love writing, but in no way, shape, or form am I to tell you the absolutes of how to do your shiz. I'm just laying out opinions, experiences, and topics for discussion. And yeah, let's begin. So the first obstacle that we have listed is one that we should all be familiar with, and that is writer's fatigue, commonly known or referred to as burnout just about everywhere else. This is also very commonly identified by and with writer's block. It's essentially when you sit in front of a screen for hours at a time, and I guess after hours, you can only generate 2 to 3 words. And I know that's an exaggeration, but if you experience this, you know what I mean. Some other causes for writer's fatigue could also be repetition or routine. It could be overstimulation. Kind of like if you have too many projects and your mind just can't decide what to work on or what. I think I mentioned this in the previous video for Right and Wrong. Writer's fatigue overall is a pain in the butt. And to be honest, there's not really a tremendous amount that you can do here except take a break. If you did watch that last video, that earlier, is why pacing is so important. You don't have to take a 3-week hiatus. You just have to take your mind off the project. You have to stand up every now and then, go for a walk, do some push-ups, do some jumping jacks, something, and get your mind off of that creative space just temporarily, just enough for you to reset. I promise that even though, again, the solution to this seems rather simple, time will heal it. It's something very, it goes through it. Okay, so don't think that just because you have fatigue means you can't do it. No, keep moving forward. Alternatively, you could cheat with some Adderall, but you didn't hear that from me. As Family Guy says, all that could ever amount to is overhyped and overmixed word vomit. You've heard the phrase that cheaters never prosper. So if you're dependent on that, you'll be sure to run right through the fatigue, but I didn't hear anything about like, oh, my draft one was just all word vomit and stuff like that. So I know some people need it, but if you don't need it, don't take it. So play to your strengths and pace yourself. Another writing obstacle that's listed and very common is copycat syndrome, otherwise known as imposter syndrome. This one is very common, especially after you started kind of finding your rhythm or your flow, or even after your debut. It hits the veterans, it hits the debut authors. There's no real escaping this because we have cycled through centuries of ideas already. I like to imagine that in the 1500s, somebody somewhere out there thought about flying cars and soaring through the sky in a compartmentalized tube. Somebody somewhere had the same idea years ago, way before you. And the point I'm trying to make is that ideas breed ideas, and it's absolutely normal. Just because an idea existed way back then, it has been passed down and perfected and filtered and filed, and now is laying in somebody else's desk, doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. Now, plagiarism isn't normal, and that's something else entirely, but we'll get to that in a minute. the thing is that if you've ever felt like your writing is eerily similar to somebody else's, or you feel like you've taken a bit too much inspiration from someone else's work, if you have concerns that maybe something might be taken as plagiarism or AI generated, there's tools that can help you. And if you answered yes to that last one, again, you might have a different problem, but otherwise you have experienced syndrome to some level or to some degree. While there's no cure for this syndrome, if you will, what I can recommend is that taking the initiative to finish what you've started, what you're working on, is probably the most beneficial thing that you can do. And I know that sounds a little bit counterintuitive, kind of, again, simplistic, but if you finish what you have in mind, and then get the feedback from friends, family, existing fans, or if you, again, take mind off of the project and come back to it later and give yourself that feedback through kind of a self-editing phase, you'll start seeing a lot more. Okay, you'll start seeing through the lines, through the web, and start identifying things that you can or can't work with. And please read what you write. I can't emphasize this enough. Read what you write before you put it out to the ether or share it. Please review. What you need to understand, regardless of industry, is that we as humans have evolved through generations of content and entertainment already. There isn't anything today that is 100% original. It's really why tropes and prompts and even stereotypes exist. It's the reason why some of these industries are so oversaturated or so, I guess, full to the brim of very similar ideas. The music industries, how many songs have the same titles? How many books have the same titles? So, I mean, don't let this, just because you have identified it, don't let this stop you, okay? And there's tools that can help you. Feedback from friends and family to identify some of these spots is definitely key. What I'm getting at is that the syndrome is normal. It's as normal as deja vu. It happens. And when it does happen, the best thing you can do is really just shrug it off. For no reason, but shrug it off. There will be times when you catch yourself going a bit too deep, and honestly, editing and reading will help you catch those instances. But otherwise, realize that it's a normal occurrence. Just because you have that imposter syndrome does not mean that you are an imposter. You're not sick, you're not a fraud, you're a creative in a creative world. Emphasize, you are a creative in an already creative world. That's the way you gotta look at it. There be dragons, there's lots of dragons. Don't apologize for writing another dragon story. I hope that made sense. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. That is what I guess the topic of this. If you've dealt with either one of these and you have experiences, or again, if you have other solutions that you would like to share, please leave a comment. If this video is beneficial to you, like it. I mean, it's more of a rant at this point than anything else. But it's, I guess, less rant, more pep talk. But if you like the soothing, sometimes skipping sound of my voice, also like and subscribe. I'm looking forward to making a few more of these. But yeah, cheers, guys. I appreciate y'all. See ya.